Kuzangpla, a very warm welcome to our weekly news magazine program, Bhutan This Week. My name is Cheku. Our top stories this week. Anti-Corruption Commission drops former Prime Minister's security arrangements and former MOWHS Minister's fiscal incentives cases. Financial institutions outstanding loan at 143 billion Newton. And national policy for energy efficiency and conservation launched. The Anti-Corruption Commission cleared the former Prime Minister Dasho Tobgay of misusing 3 million ngitam from the government fund for constructing a compound wall and security infrastructure in his private residence at Taba. The ACC did not find any corruption or violation of the ACC Act and misuse of resources.
The ACC's investigation found that the Security Division of Royal Bhutan Police initiated the proposal to reinforce and strengthen the security of the former Prime Minister's private residence. It was based on the Security Protocol for VVIPs and VIPs 2014. The Commission did not find any evidence of Dasho Tobgay initiating or instructing the compound wall's construction. In an anonymous complaint the ACC received in March last year, the former Prime Minister was alleged of misusing the government budget for construction of fencing, water supply and other security arrangements at his private residence. It also stated that he refunded the cost only after the issuance of an audit memo by the Royal Audit Authority. However, according to Dasho Tobgay, he paid back the 3 million newton following his concerns of recurrent costs to the government in case of future cabinets residing in private residences and such practice possibly creating precedents. The Royal Audit Authority, nearly a year after receiving the money, refunded 2.9 million newton to the former Prime Minister. The RAA's letter stated that the authority did not anticipate recovery, besides recommending the institution of appropriate mechanism to regulate such expenditure in private residences, considering likely recurring cost implication in future. The Cabinet Secretariat, on recommendation of the former Prime Minister, also forwarded a letter in March last year requesting the ACC to investigate the complaint. However, considering the inappropriateness of timing due to the ongoing parliamentary elections then, the Commission did not pursue the complaint formally. Its formal investigation began in September this year. While the ACC has now closed the case, it has written to the government to come up with clear procedures on the security protocol for future reference. This is Pasandoji for BBS News.
The Anti-Corruption Commission also dropped the official misconduct and policy corruption allegations against the former Works and Human Settlement Minister Ishizamba. The claims made by the Prime Minister's office during the previous government's tenure are in relation to the fiscal incentives for tourist standard hotels enforced in April 2013. The Prime Minister's office requested for the ACC's intervention in January last year.
In its 3-month-long investigation, the ACC did not find any element of policy corruption against the former Works and Human Settlement Minister. The Commission will not forward the case to the Office of the Attorney General for further investigation. According to the Prime Minister's office during the PDP government, the former Minister Yishe Zimba chaired the cabinet meeting which approved the additional fiscal incentives. This benefited Hotel Le Méridien, which is owned by the former minister's daughter, with over 76 million newton. It also benefited 92 other hotels, but over 41% of the total tax exemption amount went in favor of Bhutan Hotel Limited or Le Méridien. Moreover, the office alleged that the incentives were enforced days before the deputy government's dissolution to bypass reporting requirement to the parliament. The ACC's investigation found the revised fiscal incentives for tourist standard hotels 2013 moved through various committees involving different stakeholders. The involvement of the former minister was not seen at any level of the process. Further, the findings revealed that the effective implementation and the end dates of revised fiscal incentives were as per the recommendation of Department of Revenue and Customs. It was based on Rules and Regulations on Fiscal Incentives 2010. The investigation also did not find any alteration on the Fiscal Incentives List 2013 submitted by the working group through the Finance Ministry. The former minister was involved in both the cabinet sessions in approving the revised list. In view of the investigation's result, the Commission did not find any compelling evidence to pursue the case further. The ACC, however, decided to formally write to the Prime Minister recommending the need to institute a system of declaring conflict of interest, if any, during the cabinet meetings. This is Basandoji for BBS News.
6 former lecturers and a supporting staff of Taksi College of Language and Culture Studies filed a case at Trongsa Court against the college and the Royal University of Bhutan. They claim that the college did not follow the due process before they were compulsorily retired following allegations of sexual harassment of students in May this year. They are seeking compensation as well as reinstatement into the college.
During the miscellaneous hearing today, 7 of them, represented by a lawyer, submitted to court that they were issued compulsory retirement orders without giving them a second chance to clarify. They alleged that the decision was not in accordance with the due process of law and that there wasn't any concrete basis and evidence for their termination. They are seeking 6 months' salary for wrongful dismissal and almost 2 million Newton as legal cost. The Office of the Attorney General and the police had also found no evidences and basis to charge them. Meanwhile, 7 of them submitted a reinstatement application to the college on 13th August. They received a letter from the college on 29th September stating they would not be reinstated as the college took the administrative decision since they breached the code of conduct of a teacher and that there would not be alteration in their decision unless the court orders them to do so. The college had compulsorily retired 10 staff for alleged sexual harassment of female students. Of the 10, 3 of them are being prosecuted at court. Pasa, BBS News, Trongsa.
24 new HIV cases have been detected between June and November this year. Most of them are farmers. Majority of them belong to the most sexually active age group of 25 to 49, and almost all of them contracted the virus through unprotected sex. All new cases are being put on care and treatment at the National Referral Hospital. Including these latest diagnoses, 60 HIV cases have been detected so far in 2019 alone. With over 21 billion Newton as non-performing loans, the financial institution's outstanding loan to the economy stands at over 143 billion Newton as of June 2019. This was revealed during a meeting between the Finance Ministry and Financial Institutions Associations of Bhutan held on Thursday.
According to the Royal Monetary Authority, the country's loan disbursed by various lending institutions increased from 83.5 billion Newton to 132.5 billion Newton last year. Likewise, the non-performing loans also increased from 4.7 billion Newton to 12.3 billion Newton for the same period. Non-performing loan, or NPL, is a sum of borrowed money upon which the debtor has not made the scheduled payments for a specified period. Going by the loan trend in various sectors, service and housing sectors availed the highest loan with over 35 billion Newton as of June this year. In terms of the NPL, service and trade and commerce sectors had the highest, totaling to over 11 billion Newton.
What I'm most concerned with is the growth trend of NPL. And this is something that we all should be concerned. NPL at a sectoral level is 15%. And of course, driven by RSCB and BTBL, we should understand that NPL is growing. We should arrest it now, because some of the institutions may not be sustainable at the rate that we're growing in terms of NPL.
According to the Finance Minister, such a meeting is expected to promote the country's economic growth, as it will look at addressing key issues concerning the fiscal and monetary sector.
It's equally important to make ourselves resilient to both external and internal shocks. For instance, how prepared we are to face the economic downturn in India, which has a huge potential to influence our economy.
Besides discussing the issues, The meeting also came up with certain recommendations to improve the loan situation. They recommended for the collateral-based system, accountability in various government sectors, increasing the number of commercial courts, better loan management and financial sector transformation. This is Pasan Doji for BBS News.
68% of civil society organizations cannot continue without external resources. This is according to the recently released Civil Society Organization Mapping Report 2019. And with Bhutan graduating from least developed countries category by 2023, CSOs are confronted with external resources withdrawing.
Now this brings in the concern of sustainability of CSOs in the country. The government and CSOs meet to discuss coordination between them. CSOs are now seeking help from the government.
Tiani chatim naluedu the daneboda the chatim samdibe bemidira the shuin khatule japchurchi imbes nombela mangulgi tab mededu medida manguldin najerami jilun shu khatulera the dadi de mangulgi kangili yuse the manguldira de ngaji shuin khatule the shunlura malamba yu dida CSO sulu jinigi di the lamluchi go badoro.
Today, there are almost 50 civil society organizations registered with the Civil Society Organization Authority. Some deregistered and are not operational. And it happens when the services are fulfilled or when they can't sustain.
But now all this donor agencies is pulling out of the country, one. And even those who are here are downsizing their support. And on top of that, the other fear that the civil society organizations have is that Bhutan graduating from the least developed country into a middle income country group, whereby opportunity to source more funding from outside may be difficult.
The presence of CSOs has grown over the years. They are working for youth, good governance, environment, animal welfare, caregiving and rehabilitation among many others. Samtan Dolkar, BBS News.
None of the employees of Tourism Council of Bhutan failed the drug test. The TCB, in collaboration with Bhutan Narcotics Control Authority, conducted a random drug test on 21st November. It is to maintain drug-free tourism sector and support the nation's effort to fight drug abuse.
Bhutan Narcotics Control Authority test urine samples of some 30 officials working with Tourism Council. In about 5 minutes, the result is out. And not a single employee tested positive. This test detects 10 different types of drugs. As per the Bhutan Civil Service Rules and Regulation 2018, a civil servant shall undergo medical test, drug test and treatment plan prescribed by the competent authority or agency.
This will basically help in enhancing the service delivery to the Sumla, we as a public civil servant, because to deliver a service, to be an effective and efficient, I think we have to be clean from drug, from alcohol, from all this negative substance abuse.
So if there are some people out there who are into addiction, we can provide them with timely intervention in terms of treatment, rehabilitation, so that they do not get deeper into addiction.
A mandatory drug test for tourist guides will begin next month as they renew their licenses. Bhutan is named the world's best tourist destination in 2020, and it might remain so if initiatives like this continue. Bemasaldun Sring, BBS News.
With rapid growth of economic developments taking place, energy consumption to cater to public services as well as for household use has also been increasing over the years. To improve energy efficiency, a national policy for energy efficiency and conservation was launched in Thimphu earlier this week.
The policy will focus on energy usage in buildings, industries, transportation and household appliances. Officials say the policy has potential to save around 155 kilowatt annually through the use of energy-efficient equipment, appliances and construction materials in the building and industry sectors.
Energy efficiency measures in all the sectors will bring reduction in the energy consumption but compromising the productivity. For example, building sector, we have a building construction, make use of energy efficient materials that will have energy consumption reduction but not will compromise the function of the building. That will be translated as energy efficiency in building. For industry also we have energy efficient appliance technologies. In appliance Nadi, we are mainly focusing on developing the standards and labeling scheme wherein it will address all the appliance key energy efficiency.
In the transport sector, the policy will help reduce energy consumption from fossil fuels through alternative solutions and efficient utilization of resources. In 2017 alone, the import of fossil fuels accounted to over 71% of the revenue generated from the export of electricity. The Cabinet approved the policy in July this year.
The energy intensity of Asia, particularly I think South Asia, is much high. If you compare to European countries, I'm sure our energy intensity is very high. So it's very important for us to reduce this energy intensity, and we never have creating our own energy there, things like that. Lots of things are there which are doable. Therefore, these four sectors, particularly building, industry, transport, and appliances, itself has a huge potential to save our energy if we can channelize the use properly.
Along with the policy launch, the Ministry also launched the Energy Efficiency Roadmap. It will serve as a guideline to implement the energy efficiency and conservation policy to achieve the policy targets. For Pema Sawang, Pubgame for BBS News.
Ha Dzongkhag is going to host the 6th Royal Bhutan Flower Exhibition in June next year. The Ha Dzongkhag Tsogdu, held on 20th November, also agreed to introduce Dzongkhag Beautification Audit for sustainability of the resources and beautification made during the exhibition. Ha is preparing about 25 sites in the town, which extends from Hlagakarpo to Katso Bridge for the flower exhibition. The preparation is intense because Ha intends to make the exhibition unique and uplift the whole outlook of the district with complete new landscaping, drainage, roads and water supply.
We are going to make the exhibition unique. The 6 gyoks, schools and regional offices, every household in Ha is going to participate in the exhibition. They will plant flowers, trees and make their surrounding clean and green.
The preparatory work is expected to complete by March. The Dzongkhag administration is planning to keep the landscape even after the exhibition.
We are beautifying the district for exhibition, but they are going to be audited. For example, if Ugen Central School takes 100 saplings and plant them, it will be recorded on principal's name. So when he hands over the school to the successor, these trees should also be handed over. Otherwise, they will have to pay and plant the flowers and trees.
The exhibition is also to promote tourism in Ha. During the Dzongkhag Tsogdu, local leaders also endorsed adoption of stray dogs by each household and fines for rearing animals in the town. The Royal Flower Exhibition was first organized in 2015 upon the royal command of His Majesty the King. For Sangit Chuzum in Ha, Chiku for BBS News. Samdup Jongkar Dzongkhag Health Sector is providing ultrasound services in Gewoks by carrying portable ultrasound machine, and it has benefited the villages. More than 500 villagers avail themselves of the services in Phunsutang, Gomdar, Orong, Wangfu and Masala Gewoks.
Villagers had to travel to Samdup Jongkar District Hospital, Dawatang Hospital and Jomosankar Tungkak Hospital to get ultrasound services. But with mobile ultrasound services in Gewoks, villagers are able to get the service easily without having to travel. 2 days mobile ultrasound service in Wangpugeok saw more than 100 villagers coming for the service. One of them is 28-year-old Tilezangmo. She is 6 months pregnant, and getting ultrasound service right on her doorstep has saved her from travelling almost 80 kilometers to Dewatang Hospital.
Before we had to go till Dewatang and Samdrup to get ultrasound services, but this time I did here and I'm very grateful to get these services. I'm 6 months pregnant and I did first ultrasound at Samdrup Hospital last time.
It is expensive for us to visit other places to get this service, so many are left without the service. There is chance of dying for late detection of diseases, and we are grateful to get this type of service here. I did check up today and I'm fine.
Samdrup Health Sector organized this mobile service to make health services easily accessible.
Ultrasound service is not available in Gyoks, so we are providing it as outreach program. It is first time in Samdrup. Ultrasound service is mainly needed to pregnant women, and there are many diseases which are only detected by this machine, so we are providing this service.
The Dzongkhag Health Sector is planning various medical camps for elders and people who are not able to visit hospitals. For Kiloanchu in Samdrup Pup Game for BBS News.
And this brings us to the end of the week's news magazine program. I'm Cheku signing off. All for now.